In our daily lives, we often experience moments when our mind feels out of control. One minute we're calm, and the next we're angry, worried, or overwhelmed. We say or do things that we later regret, and we wonder, why can't I control my mind?
Learning to control the mind is one of the most important lessons in life. Every success, every failure, every relationship, and even our happiness all begin in the mind. The Buddha once said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become."
Today, we're going to explore how to truly control your mind, not by suppressing it, but by understanding it.
Moi, understanding the nature of the mind.
Before we can control our mind, we must first understand what it is.
The mind is like a river. It's always moving, changing, and flowing. Thoughts arise and disappear, just like waves on the surface of water. When we try to force the river to stop, it becomes turbulent. But when we observe it calmly, we begin to understand its nature.
Our mind is made up of thoughts, ideas, plans, memories, and imaginations.
Motions, feelings such as happiness, anger, fear, and sadness.
Perceptions, how we interpret what we see and hear.
និយាយអត្ថបទនេះដោយប្រើអារម្មណ៍ធម្មតា Intentions, the motives that drive our actions. To control the mind means to bring awareness to these elements rather than being controlled by them. 2. Awareness, the first step toward control.
You cannot control what you are not aware of. Awareness is the foundation of all mental discipline.
When you are aware of your thoughts and emotions, you can respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. For example, និយាយអត្ថបទនេះនៅពេលអារម្មណ៍ធម្មតា Instead of shouting, you notice, this is anger arising in my mind. និយាយអត្ថបទនេះដោយប្រើអារម្មណ៍ធម្មតា When fear appears, you recognize, this is fear. It's a natural emotion, and it will pass. Awareness creates space between you and your thoughts. It allows you to choose your response instead of being a prisoner of your emotions. Practice. Try to spend a few minutes each day observing your thoughts without judgment. Sit quietly, breathe naturally, and notice whatever appears in the mind. Don't fight it, just observe. This simple act of awareness is already a form of control. 3. The power of meditation. Meditation is not about escaping reality. It's about understanding reality. When you meditate, you train the mind to stay still, focused, and clear. Imagine your mind as a glass of muddy water. If you keep shaking it, the water will always be cloudy. But if you let it rest, the mud settles and the water becomes clear. Meditation helps the mind settle and become transparent. Even 10 minutes a day can make a huge difference.
Start with breathing meditation.
Sit comfortably. Focus your attention on your breath. When the mind wanders, gently bring it back. Through regular practice, your mind becomes stronger, calmer, and easier to guide. 4. Understanding emotions. Many people believe that controlling the mind means suppressing emotions, but that's a mistake. Real control is not suppression, it's understanding. Every emotion has a message. និយាយអត្ថបទនេះដោយប្រើអារម្មណ៍ធម្មតា Anger arises when we feel hurt or disrespected. Fear appears when we sense danger or uncertainty. Sadness comes when we experience loss or disappointment. When we understand the reason behind our emotions, we can deal with them wisely. For example, if you're angry, instead of shouting or hiding your feelings, you can pause and ask, what is this anger trying to tell me? By understanding your emotions, you transform them from enemies into teachers. 5. The role of thoughts. Your thoughts shape your world. If your mind is filled with negative thoughts, self-doubt, worry, and resentment, your world will reflect that negativity.
But if you train your mind to think positively and constructively, your life will naturally improve. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. When a negative thought arises, you don't have to believe it. You can simply acknowledge it and let it pass. Just because your mind says something doesn't mean it's true. Practice. Every time a negative thought arises, replace it with a positive or realistic one. For instance, និយាយអត្ថបទនេះដោយប្រើអារម្មណ៍ធម្មតា Instead of I can't do this, say I will try my best. និយាយអត្ថបទនេះដោយប្រើអារម្មណ៍ធម្មតា Instead of everything is going wrong, say I can learn from this experience. This simple shift changes your mental energy and strengthens your inner control. 6. Detachment and letting go. Control doesn't mean clinging to everything. In fact, sometimes true control comes from letting go. When we cling too tightly to people, possessions, opinions, or desires, we suffer. The Buddha taught that attachment is the root of suffering. To control your mind, you must learn the art of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means having a peaceful mind regardless of circumstances. It's the ability to say, I can enjoy this, but I don't depend on it for my happiness. When you let go of unnecessary attachment, your mind becomes lighter, freer, and more stable. 7. The importance of right environment. Your environment shapes your mind more than you think. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, gossip, or distraction, your mind becomes restless. But if you spend time in peaceful, mindful surroundings, your mind becomes calm and clear. Choose your environment wisely. និយាយអត្ថបទនេះដោយប្រើអារម្មណ៍ធម្មតា Read uplifting books. Spend time with calm and wise people. Limit exposure to negative media. Stay close to nature. It naturally calms the mind. A pure environment supports a pure mind. 8. Discipline and consistency. The mind is like a muscle. It becomes strong through training. If you only practice mindfulness or meditation occasionally, your progress will be slow. But if you practice a little every day, your control over your mind will steadily grow. Start small. និយាយអត្ថបទនេះដោយប្រើអារម្មណ៍ធម្មតា 5-10 minutes of meditation each morning. និយាយអត្ថបទនេះដោយប្រើអារម្មណ៍ធម្មតា A few mindful breaths before meals. និយាយអត្ថបទនេះដោយប្រើអារម្មណ៍ធម្មតា Reflecting before sleeping. Consistency is more important than perfection. Every small act of awareness is a step toward mastery. 9. The 3 levels of mind control. To summarize, mastering the mind happens in 3 levels. 1. Awareness. Knowing what is happening in your mind. 2. Understanding. Seeing the cause and effect of your emotions and thoughts. 3. Transformation. Replacing harmful patterns with wise and peaceful ones. True control doesn't mean forcing your mind to obey. It means guiding it with wisdom and compassion. Done. Conclusion. The journey within. Controlling your mind is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong journey. Someday you'll feel peaceful and in control. Other days you'll struggle. That's natural. The key is not to give up. Each moment of awareness brings you closer to freedom. Each act of mindfulness weakens the chains of anger, fear, and attachment. When you learn to control your mind, you don't just find peace, you become peace. So, begin today. Observe your thoughts. Watch your emotions. Meditate a little. Learn to let go. And slowly, step by step, you will discover that the greatest power in life is not controlling others, it's mastering yourself. Thanks you